to a little about a lot. It is time, finally, to take what I wanted to do for such a long time, just didn't have the space to do it, but now I do. Let's make this workshop table. And what I plan on doing is putting my table saw inserted into it, as well as my miter saw recessed in so it's flat with the table. And then part two of it will be me taking my miter saw and being able to flip it upside down so it's out of the way, and then putting a flat board on top of it. So all I have is a nice big, almost a 4x8 work area where I'm able to do all my projects and so forth. So let's take this material right here and let's change it into this. Alright guys, I got the base frame almost done. So I'm also going to put casters on the bottom of it, and the casters aren't huge or anything like that, but they can carry about 600 pounds. So what I need to do in the corners is put an extra blocking there so I can be able to screw the casters to the bottom of it. I don't want anything hanging off the edges of it, just a 2x4. So what I'm going to do is just going to use my scraps that I had over here, just cut down a small, probably 4 or 5 inch 2x4, screw it on there as well. I need to cut down the plywood here that I got for the bottom. Of course, it's not a 4x8 sheet, so I need to cut it down to my dimensions. And I put a 2x4 down there, clamped it on, and I'm just going to follow that down to make a nice straight edge. Alright guys, the next step is to make the legs for the table. One is one leg to be full length, and then one to be actually 3.5 inches shorter, so my 2x4. So basically it'll be one full leg, and then one full leg minus 3.5. So when I put my board that comes all the way across, I'm going to slide that over there, and that'll take up that difference. let me update you on some progress here. So I basically got the frame mostly built. As you can see here, all of the posts are in here. I got the rail across, got a couple supports going across here. And then on this side, this is where my table saw is gonna be. And you see I got some supports underneath there, pocket hole screws and some of it. And then on this side over here where my miter saw is gonna go, put some bracing, so when I set it down, it actually sits about 3.5 inches. So I had to put a board there, and then the board on top, and that'll be exactly 3.25 inches. 3.5 inches. And then what I'll have to do is I'll have to cut here and here to be able to access it so I can swing the miter saw back and forth and lock it down. What I need to do is cut the top. I got the top on, which is pretty satisfying. My casters came in last night, so I'm able to put those on as well today. And then a couple of things I need to clean up here is I need to figure out what to do with the table saw. When I mount it, obviously I want it flush with the top of the table, but I want to be able to dump all the sawdust straight down. But do I want to put it in a compartment? Do I want to put a bag underneath it? I'm not quite sure just yet. And then the second thing is I need to cut out this area here from a miter saw so it recesses in and sits flat with the table itself. Flip this up, put the casters on, and then hopefully they work pretty well. Like I said, they're pretty small for what I've seen on other people do. They're 2-inch casters. They sit 2 3/4 inch up, and so my table is going to be 2 3/4 inch taller than it is now. Brakes on them, and so you can just smash them down and it stops it from moving around. So make sure when you get casters for your work table here that you get ones that have brakes on them. So I was messing around, I was able to find out how to get this thing to swing without basically any work at all. And so I already had the frame built and it was secured to the bottom side of this. And then I was looking at it, it's like all I gotta do is put a 2x4, which is this one here, and put 2 screws from the side. And I used 1/4 inch by 4 inch screws, so they're nice and strong. Who knows if this is gonna be a lasting thing, I don't know, but I just need to swing out of the way every once in a while so I can put a flat bench over here, so when I do end up put something on the table saw, it slides nice and easy and I'll have this gap. You can see right there, right in the middle of that stud there. And then you can basically swing it. And so how does it stay up? Swing it up. And you just take these 2x4s, which I cut to fit underneath it. And then it holds nice and still. This will definitely work. I've been able to mount the table saw here. And so I had to shim one side of it, as you can see right here. Just put a little, I think that's about an 1/8 inch. So it's an 1/8 inch off, but you can see it's just perfectly flat with the tabletop there all the way across. And just with my table saw, I may end up just putting a 3/4 inch piece of MDF right here and routering out that piece right there, because it does sit just slightly above, you can see. So I would have to router out there, maybe put a little support that comes across, that way I can screw it down. But as of right now, it's not really bothering me. I'm not sure if I really need it, to be honest with you. Well, here she is, guys. Not 100% complete, but it is great for what I want now. It's going to be a great addition to the shop. I still have plans for T-track, as well as some electrical that I'd like to add to be able to plug in different tools and things like that so I don't have to run to the wall, as well as a switch that I plan to use for the sharp back. That way you can just push the switch and it works. And that would be another great addition to the workbench as well. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I have a bunch of projects that are coming down the pipeline. I would love your support. And until next time, learn a little about a lot.